Hi there and welcome back. I know it's been a while. I've just been a little inundated bringing my little new baby to fruition. My last video, I don't know if you recall, I mentioned my book Frameless, and now it's gone in for publishing, it's gone in for printing, and hopefully it's going to be out onto shelves within the next month. So, Frameless. As I mentioned, it's a book and a collage of the best of all my poetry, and I've kind of put it into a compilation. And this book has a certain magical spark to it. And what the spark is essentially that no matter where you open to in the book, whatever answers you're looking for at that point in time, the poem that you see on that page essentially will give you a deeper meaning, a deeper understanding, a directive and a narrative as to where you need to go with it and how you need to view this challenge. How to essentially create a new dimension of understanding about this challenge. So, Frameless, it's a magical, mystical book. Watch the press for details. I'll keep you informed, and I'll go via social media and whatever other media we can to let you know when the books are out and if there's a launch, where it's going to be, and how it's going to take place. I haven't figured all of that out yet, and I'm just waiting for the universe to reveal the next step. So thank you, and thank you for all your support, your encouragement, and your energy that assisted me in getting this book out there and in trying to shape the thoughts of the world and shift their lives. Thank you very much. So, time to breathe. Let's get resourceful. Let's get energized. Let's get our minds back into our body. So 3 deep aha breaths, and with every breath, I want you to please mentally and silently repeat, every day, in every way, I get even better and better. Take in a good breath. Every day, in every way, I get even better and better. And release it. And another breath. Every day, in every way, I get even better and better. You feeling sharp? You feeling bang on? I am. I know I am. So we've got our mind back to our body and we got into a resourceful state. So I want to speak a little about today. I had a talk at a local industry cafe about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I spoke about creative intelligence, and I just want to expand on that. So I want to speak about the creative process. What is it that allows nothing to become something? What is it? There's a certain output, there's a certain outcome that makes an intangible tangible. There is something from nothing that gets developed in a moment, in an energy, and then it becomes a very tangible thing. Like you think about a new book, and suddenly there's a new book on the market. I mean, where was Frameless before it became this measurable, readable, tangible book? Where was a new thought? Where was the new event? Where was the new painting before it actually became a painting? And for me, I believe it's a certain output. It's a certain creativity within you that's innate, that you don't even know, that harnesses within you, that gets activated when you stop the mental multitasking and you just allow things to flow. I mean, have you ever thought of doing something and then decided you won't do it because you felt you might not be able to do it? Now that is nuts. You see, you created an unhappy ending in your mind, and then you use that as your decision criteria. That is creative. But of course you're using creativity against you. It's not that we're not creative, it's just that we are so practiced in making our world much, much smaller than essentially the bigger world we live in. So this creative output that brings nothing to something, that brings nothing to fruition, if you could ask yourself that question, and instead of having me answer that question for you, if you could answer that question with insight, you will open up something in you and something for you that will begin to make your life less daunting and more fluid. less stressful, and more effortless. You see, when you kind of stop the mental multitasking and you become a little quiet, essentially things flow from within you. And that is like another mind, the source of all your creativity, the source of all your potential that is harnessed within you becomes activated. And when you activate this other mind within you, it doesn't take away the magic, but you can do this less sparingly and more often. I mean, think about it. How many times in your life were you searching for something, an answer to something, or the name of a book, or the name of a movie, or whatever you're searching for, and you were Googling and asking questions and asking your friends from them days, do you remember this? And what was the guy's name? Or what was the actor's name? Or what was the name of the book? And then suddenly one day, out of the blue, you're driving in your car, you're having lunch with your friends, and boom, the answer comes up. It's a fairly universal experience. That is creative intelligence. That is intuition within you that created that solution, that outcome, without you doing anything. The only problem why we don't achieve this creativity is we're too busy, we're speeding up, and we're running this thing way quicker than it's designed to run. So it's almost like we need to get to a speed bump. You know, speed bumps are those things that kind of really annoying stuff that when you're driving too fast, you need to slow down. Otherwise, your car kind of bumps all over them. You almost need to come to a speed bump in your life. And when you can switch off that multitasking, that speed bump becomes your creative intelligence. And that creative intelligence then creates an outsource. So what is it that takes formless to form? What is it that takes nothing to something? You know, I love writing, and people say to me, boy, you must love writing. And I go, well, there are days when I really, really like writing, and there are days when I don't like writing. But boy, do I love reading what I've written. And I sit there with my iPad, and I have a whole lot of thoughts, which is essentially the source of my creativity. And before I know it, there's an output. There's a tangible poem. There's a tangible page in my book. There's a tangible decision on how I'm going to run my next event. There's a tangible idea of how I'm going to create this video. I'm going to make this presentation. You know, an artist sits in front, a painter sits in front of a black canvas. And this blank canvas has got nothing on it. He's got a set of paints. And before you know it, he starts doing his thing. And he realizes he's going to let the paint drip here. He's going to create a shadow effect there. He's going to create a bit of dots here. And then, you know, his painting's like kind of change it here, change it there. And then it's done. And then you kind of get into a process of understanding this energy for this creative outcome is now complete. It's not that I can't do more to it. It's just for now, it's complete. I might reiterate tomorrow and want to do more with it tomorrow, but for now, this energy is now complete. And that is really where that creativity comes from. So I have a little analogy, and it's like, I want you to imagine, now creativity is not painting. Painting is just an essential, minute piece of creativity. Creativity is the way we use our mind. Creativity is the way we use our thoughts. Creativity is how you find solutions to all the problems you're facing in your life right now. In fact, creativity is the function of the mind that created your life to be a problem in the first place. So thought is creative. So if, let's say, the answer to anything we're searching for right now had to suddenly appear at the bottom of a swimming pool, there's two ways we can go and observe or identify this answer, right? The one way is we dive into the pool and we got to like swim down to the answer, and we're kind of right up to it. So not only are we disturbing the water, but we're so up in its face that we can't get perspective. We can't see the big picture. The other way to observe this answer is to stand at the edge of the pool and just wait for the water to settle. And when this water settles, it will act as a magnifying glass. And the answer will become more prevalent, more observable. It is not exactly how the mind works, but essentially the mind works like that. So it is this creative process that creates nothing to something, to nothing, to something. And a nice metaphor I picked up was candle making. When you make a candle, you begin with a wick. And you kind of dip it into some wax, and that creates a bit of a surface, which creates a bit of foam. And then you can roll it into the chemical or whatever mixture you're using to create that candle, and you can make a scent out of it. And essentially, you've now created a candle which is which is burnable. But you see how it went from formless to form, from nothing to something. That is essentially the creative process we harness within us. And in order to essentially activate this process, all we need to do is be quiet in our mental multitasking and just allow this creative process to begin flowing through an output and through an outsource. And you will be magically and mystically mystified with the possibilities or the boundless possibilities your creative intuition can now create. And in conclusion, I want to share the story of Michelangelo, who painted the Sistine Chapel at the Vatican City. And when they asked Michelangelo, but Michael, how did you manage to carve those angels so perfectly? They were flawless. They were mistakeless. They were beautiful. They were of absolute perfection. Michelangelo smiled and said, well, the angels were already there. I simply carved out the excess. Now that is creativity. Thank you very much for your time. Watch the press for details. Frameless is going to hit the market soon, and you're going to have lots of fun enjoying this mystical, magical book. My little creative process, of which there are many more to come. Your creative process, which is harnessed within you, you can use it and activate it anytime. And what we find when we use this is, you remember we always think of these moments as aha moments. Now, we can actually measure the last time we have an aha moment. What if we essentially can create more aha moments more of the time? It won't take away the magic of it, but I can tell you, you'll become much more productive, creative, and successful within this process. So in order to activate this creative process, silence your mind and let it activate. You'll be astounded and astonished what comes out of it. Thank you very much. Love and light. This is Khalid, your NLP Transformative Coach, signing off. Thank you for sharing. Goodbye.